I strongly disagree with the court's decision.
President Joe Biden on Thursday urged colleagues to take into account challenges that applicants face, including racial discrimination, during the admissions process after the U.S. Supreme Court struck down race-conscious considerations.
Today, the court once again walked away from decades of precedent and as the dissent has made clear. The dissent states in today's decision, quote, rolls back decades of precedent and momentous progress, end of quote. I agree with that statement from the dissent. They should not abandon, let me say this again, they should not abandon their commitment to ensure student bodies of diverse backgrounds and experience that reflect all of America. What I propose for consideration is a new standard, where colleges take into account the adversity a student has overcome when selecting among qualified applicants.
The court struck down race-conscious student admissions programs at Howard University and the University of North Carolina in a sharp setback to affirmative action policies often used to increase the number of Black, Hispanic, and other underrepresented minority groups on campuses. Biden said during his remarks at the White House he strongly disagrees with the court's decision, adding it can't be the last word.
The court has effectively ended affirmative action in college admissions, and I strongly disagree with the court's decision. I also believe that while talent, creativity, and hard work are everywhere across this country, not equal opportunity. It is not everywhere across this country. We cannot let this decision be the last word. I want to emphasize, we cannot let this decision be the last word. We should never allow the country to walk away from the dream upon which it was founded. That opportunity is for everyone, not just a few. We need a new path forward, a path consistent with the law that protects diversity and expands opportunity. I've always believed that the promise of America is big enough for everyone to succeed, and that every generation of Americans, we have benefited by opening the doors of opportunity just a little bit wider to include those who've been left behind. I believe our colleges are stronger when they are racially diverse.
Biden said he was directing the U.S. Department of Education to analyze what practices will help build more inclusive and diverse student bodies and what practices impede that goal.
Today, I'm directing the Department of Education to analyze what practices help build a more inclusive and diverse student bodies and what practices hold that back. Practices like legacy admissions and other systems expand privilege instead of opportunity.
Under a new standard proposed by Biden, applicants would first have to qualify under a college's academic standards, but then admissions officials would take into account adversity criteria such as financial means, living situations, and whether or not the applicant faced racial discrimination.
You know, I know today's court decision is a severe disappointment to so many people, including me. But we cannot let the decision be a permanent setback for the country. We need to keep an open door of opportunities. We need to remember that diversity is our strength. You know, and companies who are already realizing the value of diversity should not use this decision as an excuse to turn away from diversity either. We can't go backwards.
The US president acknowledged discrimination still exists in America. Thus, the decision was a severe disappointment.
Because the truth is, we all know it, discrimination still exists in America.
The affirmative action ruling is the latest in a string of setbacks on issues that were once considered settled, such as abortion rights delivered by the conservative-leaning court. Asked whether the Supreme Court was a rogue court as he was leaving the room, Biden paused, then responded, "This is not a normal court."
But we're not going to let this break us. Thank you.
President Biden, the Congressional Black Caucus said the Supreme Court has thrown into question its own legitimacy. Is this a rogue court?
This is not a normal court.
Should there be term limits for the justices, sir?